Kaʻiana, the Hawaiian historical figure who will be portrayed by Jason Momoa in the series Chief of War, was related to every major chief in the Hawaiian Islands, as noted by a Hawaiian historian. He was an early adventurer traveling to China and other ports. An article in the Hawaiian Journal of History describes Kaʻiana walking down the road in Canton, China, where he refused to remove his ahu'ula, his chiefly coke. Described as over 6 feet tall with his helmet, he must have been towering over the people there. Kaʻiana, who traveled with Captain Mears, was described thus. Kaʻiana is tall, being 6 foot 2 inches in height, and so exceedingly well made that a more perfect symmetry and just proportion of shape is rarely to be met with. He has a pleasing animated countenance and a fine piercing eye. The historian Adam Keawe Camp writes, while in Alaska, a bay named for him, Taiana, today is called Icy Bay. This was the first place outside of Hawaii named after a Hawaiian. Kaʻiana eventually made it home and became an ally of Kamehameha I, supplying him with weapons from China. He eventually had a falling out with Kamehameha and was shot by John Young in battle during the Battle of the Pali. Some accounts claim he was shot near Queen Emma's summer palace, while others say on the slopes of Puawaina. That's called Punch Bowl. Before the Battle of Nuʻuanu, Kaʻiana was excluded from a planning meeting at Kaunakakai, Molokaʻi. Taking this as an omen that he was to be killed, he defected with the 3,500 soldiers he commanded and joined the rival Kalani Kupule, chief of Oahu and Maui. This lowered Kamehameha's army from about 16,000 to around 13,000, but they still outnumbered Kalani Kupule's forces, even with the addition of Kaʻiana's warriors. At the Battle of Nuʻuanu, the last battle of Hawaiian history, which led to the unification of the Hawaiian Islands, King Kamehameha launched his fleet of 800, or some say 1,000 canoes from Kona on Hawaii Island and landed in Lahaina, burning the houses there. The fleet then sailed to Kaunakakai, Molokaʻi to plan for the final invasion of Oahu. When Kaʻiana was excluded, he began thinking he was on the outs with Kamehameha, and he defected. Upon telling his wife of his defection, she wished him luck, but remained with the Kamehameha side. It seems as if Kahekili's son Kalani Kupule was not expecting Kamehameha on the Kona side, because the Hawaii Island forces landed unopposed and camped for 3 to 4 days. The historian Stephen Deshay recounts the portion of the battle leading to Kaʻiana's death. Kaʻiana on Kalani Kupule's side noted the skilled marksmanship of the women on Kamehameha's side. Indeed, amongst those who were casting death on Kalani Kupule's warriors, those led by the warrior Ali'i Kaʻiana was Kekupuohi, who had learned her skill in shooting from her husband in times past. Yet here was Kekupuohi employing the knowledge which she had learned from her husband. Kaʻiana deployed his musket-firing army with great skill, supported by the Hoahanau, or cousin, Nahiolea. Under them were warriors well accustomed to firing muskets and shooting cannons. When the two sides came quite close to each other, Kaʻiana was struck 3 times in the breast with bullets. However, he was not killed immediately. He was using his gun with great desire to approach close to Kamehameha so as to be able to shoot him. There were perhaps only a few fathoms between the two sides. When Kaʻiana received his wounds, he increased his attempts to move forward. While he was loading a bullet into the gun, which he had snatched, he was shot by Kalino, one of Kamehameha's accomplished marksmen. This bullet struck his left thigh and he fell down, suffering a great loss of blood from his wounds, which weakened him. His wife, Kekupuahi, saw him fall, and she left her place and ran without hindrance to the place where her husband lay. She sat by his head and lifted it upon her lap, and tears of love for her husband fell. Kaʻiana gazed with eyes of suffering upon his wife, but was unable to speak. And gazing at his warrior wife, who had fought against him, with his head resting on her lap, he drew his final breath.